Trim a tree, I put up a star. I wear a sweater, it's down to my knees, and you will kiss the freckles on both of my cheeks, and we will sing our own Christmas song. Snow in the sky. You sing so softly, yeah, only we hear about the love you promised for all of our years, and we will sing our own Christmas song. I put up a star. I wear sweaters down on my knees, and you will kiss the freckles on both of my cheeks, and we will sing a Christmas song.
Hi everybody, and welcome to my house on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Hope those of you who live in the U.S. had a great Thanksgiving yourselves with friends and family. Had a really nice one with my family and had a great time. So I'm excited to be back home and be back getting ready for Christmas. I think in the U.S. at least the day after Thanksgiving is sort of the official time when Christmas begins. So I definitely have it on my mind and in my coffee mug. It's almost too hot for coffee actually here today. It's a little warm. So even though it's been very rainy the past few days and made for some nasty weather during the Thanksgiving traveling days, it hasn't been cold at least. So we haven't had that combination. And then it just cleared out actually just a little bit ago, and it's very sunny and pretty. I think it's going to be a very nice weekend. So looking forward to that. As far as my plans for the weekend, I'm hoping to go ahead and trim the tree, get it all decorated. I put it up on Wednesday since wrestling with all the different tree parts and figuring out where to put it is the least fun part of the Christmas tree experience for me. So I decided to do that early, and then when I was back from Thanksgiving at my parents' house, I would just take the time, put on some music, and just take my time decorating the tree, which is the fun part. So I plan to do that later today. Otherwise, I just wanted to talk a little bit about something I'm trying to catch up on right now after a few days I'm not doing it, and that is writing in my journal. So this is sort of a new thing for me. I'm not that much of a journaler. I've tried different times over the years and never had a lot of success with it. But I wanted to try again this year, and I started in January. So far I've stuck with it off and on. This is a journal I used this year. It's really cute and has a lot of like woodland creature illustrations and nature illustrations with some flowers, which has helped keep me going. I think just the wanting to see what illustrations are on the next pages. But yeah, so I was really inspired a lot by Ray of Sunlight Reads on YouTube. So she's a really wonderful booktuber, and she has a Instagram as well. And I'll link her information below. But she is a dedicated lifelong journaler. She's been journaling since she was a little kid, and she talks a lot about that on her vlogs. She has a couple of really lovely videos about journaling and how much it's helped her, how it's been a great record of her life, given her a lot of insights and just a way to vent her feelings and share what's going on in her life. So it kind of inspired me to give it another try myself, which I did. It hasn't been 100% perfect. I started in January and went through about March, and then somehow fell off the wagon for several months and picked it back up. But I'm back to doing it, not every single day, but as frequently as I can. And I can't say that it's become my favorite thing yet. It's nice to have a record as I even glance back through this year and just see, oh yeah, that was going on then, or I was thinking about that then. But I guess I just feel like my life is kind of dull and routine. So sometimes I struggle with what to put in here, or just feeling like I'm being a little repetitively navel gazing, which can happen. But I'm going to stick with it. Another person I really admire and like a lot, the author Susan Branch, also was a journal keeper. And so, you know, when smart people are journaling, it makes you think maybe I should give it a try too. So I've actually already purchased my journal for next year, so I'm going to stick with it in 2023. This is a really beautiful journal from Papier, and it's personalized. I got my name on it, and see, I've got to do anything to bribe myself now, but it'll be fun. So looking forward to that. Like a lot of bookish people, I have a tendency to buy a lot of notebooks and blank books and stationery and then not always use them. So I'm trying to use more and buy less when it comes to my blank books. So one thing I'm starting to do, as well as continuing on with my personal journaling, is something that I heard about recently from Miranda Mills. She's another booktuber, and she has a really lovely channel on YouTube. So recently she was talking about her Christmas gift recommendations. And one of the things that she recommended was a blank book specifically for, called a Commonplace book, which is not something I was really familiar with. I think I may have heard the term, but she explained what it was. Basically, it is a journal or a notebook that you keep as a common place for things that you just want to keep track of. So a variety of things. It could be quotes from books, poems you see, overheard conversations that make you laugh, family sayings, recipes that you see. I mean, just all sorts of things, but it's more for things that you get from outside versus a journal, which is more things you are writing down from inside for yourself. This is more gatherings from the world. So I pulled out one of my many pretty blank books and started that the other day, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just nice to have some place to write things down that's pretty and that you kind of want to keep track of in the long term. So far I haven't put a whole bunch in there, but I do have, like I pulled out a passage I really liked about Christmas from Family Sabbatical by Carol O'Reilly Brink that I talked about last week. I listed out my favorite Christmas movies, since I'm hoping to do a vlog about my favorite Christmas movies later on, probably in December sometime. I wrote a poem that I saw online by Wallace Stevens called The Snowman that I thought was really beautiful. I wrote that down. And then I did write down also this quote, which I liked from my reread of A Little Princess, which is still ongoing. And I wanted to share that with you. I thought at this time of year especially, it seemed like a really pertinent quote because, whether you have actual physical gifts to give someone or not, we are all able to give in other ways to our friends and people that we care about. So it says, if nature has made you for a giver, your hands are born open, and so is your heart. And though there may be times when your hands are empty, your heart is always full, and you can give things out of that. Warm things, kind things, sweet things, help and comfort and laughter. And sometimes gay, kind laughter is the best help of all. And I just thought that was so sweet. I had to write that down. So yeah, so I think that's a fun notion and something that I'm looking forward to continuing on with. I mean, you could always keep track of things like that in your phone or on your computer, but there's just something about writing it down yourself, I think, that makes it your own in a way that just typing it out or keeping a screenshot or something like that just doesn't. As far as reading, I am, like I said, still continuing on with The Little Princess. I haven't gotten very far. I'm about halfway through, I would say, or maybe not quite halfway through. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I did end up switching to this kind of cheap paperback version because that version that I have that is illustrated by Tasha Tudor is so beautiful, but the paper is very slick and kind of reflective almost. So it's sort of like magazine paper or like the paper that's in children's picture books. So it made it a little hard to read. I think the glare wasn't so great for my eyes. So maybe kids don't have a problem with that, but when an old person like myself is reading it, we need some dull paper. So anyway, so I'm really enjoying it and looking forward to finishing that hopefully in the next few days. But back on the topic of gifts, I did want to share my recipe for making granola. Although it's not that much of a recipe, it's very flexible on how you make it. I made some for myself yesterday, had some for breakfast this morning, and I thought I would show you how I make it because it makes a really nice gift if you're inclined to make personal homemade gifts for people. It's very simple. You don't have to have a lot of skill, but it can be really nice. Put it in a pretty jar with a ribbon, and it can be a really nice personal gift. And I don't know if you ever had homemade granola, but it really is a million times better than anything you're going to get at the store. So I will show you how I do that, and then after that I will get busy trimming the tree.